Hello, my lovely ladies. Welcome back to the channel. Now, in this video, I'm going to be telling you what are a few things you should be looking for in a man. All right, ladies. Now, this is a question that I get quite often, especially on my goddess check-ins when I speak to you ladies one-on-one. I often will ask you, what is it that you're looking for in a man? And I get a lot of type of answers, but what I do notice that a lot of people don't necessarily know what they want. They think they know what they want, but it's never really what they want. And what do I mean by that? I think a lot of what we learn today in modern society is very superficial and not actually going to get you what you want in the long run. Now, I know women now, we can create our own lives. We can make as much money as we want. We can really go out here and dominate in any field, any way that we want to. And that is absolutely great. But what is the reaction of that is that now women, because we're taking on more masculine roles in society, when we're choosing a mate, we're actually choosing a mate from the masculine side of ourselves. And what do I mean by that? I see a lot of women who want a guy who is attractive, right? Who's in great shape, who is friendly and emotionally, gonna support them and all of these things. Now, all of those things are great. But what you will notice is that is usually the answers that men will give in what they're looking for in a woman. And the reason why men give those kind of answers and, really look to a woman's beauty and how, in shape she is and how she presents herself and if she's caring and nurturing is because that's essentially what they're looking for is a feminine counterpart, right? They're masculine themselves and they want a feminine counterpart so they can, create balance and come together. Now, women have now adopted that same, wants and needs because they have been so masculine in the workforce in their life. They're taking full control and they're really being in their masculine, which nothing is wrong with that. I think it's healthy for women to be in their masculine and in their feminine. But the result of that is that when they're looking for a partner, when they're looking for a husband, they're looking at it from a masculine standpoint. So they're looking for a feminine, which they don't realize that they're actually looking for because it's like, no, but I want a man to be like that. And that's the issue that I'm finding. So what I'm going to do for you in this video is I really want to talk about the most important thing you need to be looking for in a man. And it's not his looks, it's not his fitness, his emotional stability. It has nothing to do with any of those things. It has to do with his values. Now, we speak a lot about values. I mean, everybody talks about, high value this and low value that, and, all of this term keeps being put out there. What does values mean? Your values are what you believe are important to you, what you make a priority. So in dating and looking for a man, you need to be paying attention to his values and what he finds valuable and if that aligns with you. Now, this is something that has nothing to do with appearance, again, because I think if you get too caught up in appearance, that's how you end up with men who are not really good for you, but you're so attracted to them that you're really willing to put up with anything that they're willing to give you. And that doesn't work in the long run because, as we all know, we've all had what I like to call those Prince Charmings that come into your life and you are absolutely head over heels for the guy and you know he's not right for you, but you continue on the relationship until you come to a breaking point and you have to end things. And this is just long and draining and really not what you need to be doing, especially if you want marriage and you want to, really put yourself in a position that you're elevating in your life, and you're not stagnant, and you're not in like these kind of dead relationships with Prince Charming. And I think that is also important when you're looking to dating. You need to be clear on what you want out of, dating. If you're young and you just want to have fun, then maybe you're not dating for marriage, right? So you're not necessarily looking at, how's this guy going to be for my family? Can he take care of me? Is he able to take care of 3, 4 people? Is his priorities in the right place? How far along is he in his career? Those kind of things may not be as important if you're just dating, right? And you're not looking for marriage. But if you are looking for marriage, then you have to get a lot more serious, and you have to identify what you want. Because, like we all know, once you identify what you want, then you're going to be able to start recognizing when you see it, right? The same thing, if you want a certain type of car, everywhere you go, you can't pay me to not see that car. That car is going to keep on coming up, keep on coming up. And that is because you identified this is what you want and this is what you like. So the universe is going to keep on showing you it, and you're going to keep on recognizing it. So use that same idea when you're looking for a partner. You want to be very clear on what you want and what you're looking for. So let's get into the values of a man. So I wrote them down on my laptop. I'm actually in my husband's office right now. I decided to come to the office with him today. And yeah, I'm just sitting in his office. He's like in a meeting. So let's start. So the number one thing, well, actually, this is not in any order, so you don't have to like say this is number one, this is more important. They're all important. But one of the main things that I realized that I really appreciated about my husband is that he is true to his word. And what do I mean by that? When this man tells me he's going to do something, he's actually going to do it. He's never going to make a commitment to something that he isn't going to do. That's just the type of person he is. He's a very busy man, and he pretty much packs his schedule. That's just his style. He can handle it. I'm definitely not that kind of person. Like, I can't like have things back to back to back to back. I get anxious and I need time. I need a break. I can't deal with people that much, but not with him. He's pretty much like going and going and going type of personality, which is great, right? Because I needed that opposite. And I wasn't always very much true to my word, right? I would make plans sometime, and last minute I would cancel them, and I would, make sometimes false promises. And when I got married, well, before I got married, when we were just, dating, I, looked at him and I was like, wow, you are on it, right? If we say that we're waking up and we're going on a hike, this man is getting up and we're going to go on that hike. If he says, okay, we're going to go on a trip this month to this place, I can completely forget about it and he will do it. If I say, oh, I like this bag, this purse is really nice, I really want to get it, and he says, I'll get it for you, like, one day it's just going to pop up and it's going to be there. He is on it. If we just go past something and I said, oh, I like that, he's going to go get that for me. We're renovating our home right now. So everything that I want, that I watch on HGTV, and I say, okay, babe, can we do this? He's like, okay, yeah, we can do that. We can do this. We can do that. And he just gets it done. And that type of personality really is something that I needed because, like I said, I was just not that kind of person. I'm not saying I was completely flaky. Definitely not that. But I was definitely someone who wasn't always true to her word. And, I just was a canceler sometimes, and yeah, it wasn't as good as I am now right now. Because if you're with someone who is like that, then you kind of adopt that because you appreciate it, right? Because now you look at them and you say, wow, like, it's so amazing that I get to have a person who's like that in my life. And that really speaks volumes, because then you can trust that person. You will know, like, when this person says something, they're gonna do it. And that is important, especially like in relationships where you're going into marriage. You want someone that has it handled, right? Especially, like I said, if you're not a person who can, be on it all the time, right? Who kind of has to back out of certain things because they overpromise. And even with my husband, he always says, I underpromise and overdeliver. That's just his motto with everything in life. So I really appreciate that. And I think that is a huge thing for you ladies to look at when you're looking at dating, and especially if you're looking for someone to marry, but even in dating, right? Because if a person is making plans with you, you want them to be true to that word. You want them to really do that. If they say, I'm going to take you shopping, you really want them to take you shopping. If they say, we're going to go on a trip, I'm going to take you on a trip, you really want to go on that trip. So those are things that you should look for early on. And if you don't see that, then yeah, maybe not that person, not that person you should be with. Another thing that I think is a huge thing, especially if you want to get married, is his family's values, and is how important or how much of a priority is family to him. I think this is something to really pay attention to, because when you do get married, you are marrying the family as well. Not everybody gets along with their family. Not everybody has a good relationship with their family, and I understand that, and that's fine. But I have such a great relationship with my family. I love my family. I talk to them every day. I'm just really close with my family. I've been through so much with my family. My sister is my absolute best friend in the world. My mother is my best friend. My nieces, like, I'm just really close with my family. And my husband knows that, and he's very close with his family. And I value that because I seen how close he was with his family, and he saw how close I was with my family. And then we were able to come together, and like both of us just meshed, and our families got together really well because we were all family oriented. And looking at his family, his father was, the man of his household. He was a protector, provider. He, was self-made. He, built himself up, built his family up, and raised his kids to be, you know, great in all the areas in life that they've been able to do. His mother and father are really amazing people. So I look to them, and they've been married for like 48 years, right? So he's seen like his father being a protector, a provider. His mother didn't have to work. They lived in a beautiful home in a great neighborhood. They really valued family first. And even to this day, like on Sundays, he goes and has dinner with his family. I go sometimes as well. But like, that's a priority to him, is like to spend time with them, because, they're our seniors, and they're, we don't know how long we're going to have them. So cherishing every moment with them is important. And I just love that. And I love to see that he really values family as much as I do. So I think that is important, especially if you're a family oriented person. If you're not that close to your family, and he's very close to his family, and you like family, then that's great. But if you both don't really care for your family, and you just want to focus on the family that you have together, then fine. But I think it's important, especially if you're going to get married and have children, you're really coming together with family, and you want to see his family, right? You want to see, is this a family that I want to be involved in, right? Because you're not born into that family. You do have a choice of what families you want to be associated with, and what families you want to come together with. So you want to make sure his family and your family, or what you believe in, aligns with as well. So I really think that's important for you ladies that want to get married. If you're looking into his family and you see like red flags or things that you're not really you really need to evaluate that. Because if he was raised with, if you want, a provider, and you want him to take care of the finances in the household, but he was raised with a mother being that breadwinner, or a 50-50 provider in the home, you need to see if he aligns with that, or if he aligns with him being in his masculine completely and taking full control. And then you want to see, like, is there going to be any contention in that? Because I will tell you that sometimes, the family will put ideas like, why isn't she working? Why isn't she doing this? And, you know, it would have him questioning you if they don't believe in that type of lifestyle that you believe in. And it's fine. Like, I don't think that you need to like bow down to his family or anything like that. But I do think that it will save you a lot of time if you notice early on, like, what you're dealing with and if it's something you actually want to deal with. So, another thing is his values around work. Now, this is something, again, very important, especially if you want to get married, if you want a provider. You need to see that he really values his work, he loves what he's doing, and he really is excelling in his job. He's successful in it. He's put himself in a position that is, you know, leveled up, that he's actually killing it at work. And this matters, right? Because you, again, want a guy who you can trust, who, you know, has it, who, you know, has put his career as a priority and built himself up financially and just as a professional in whatever career that he's doing, or expert in whatever career that he's doing, and how much effort he puts in that. Because that essentially is going to show you, like, can he take care of 2, 3, 4, 5 people? Because that's what it comes down to, right? You want to make sure that the man that you're marrying has the ability to take care of you. If you want to work, then yeah, go make your money. But I do believe that it's a man's responsibility to, you know, shelter you, give you some place to live. That is, you know, the basics of masculinity, is to make sure that he is providing shelter for his children and his wife, his family. So I think that, you know, it's important for you to really look at his career. I will always tell you, ladies, when you look for a man, you need to start at like professional guys. I'm talking doctors, lawyer, engineer, execs, guys like that. That should be the baseline. And if he's a business owner, like the next level, if he's like entrepreneurial business owner, you need to see he's been doing this business for at least 3 years, and that, you know, when you check his website, you see like great things, or you read his reviews, you see that he's an actual business and he's actually making money in this business, and that is what's been sustaining him and his life. And that is like the only kind of people I'm honestly going to tell you you should be marrying. I have nothing against blue collar workers. I think they're great. And, you know, if that's something that you want to do, that's great. And they work really hard. They do make a lot of money and they're in a trade. And that is great. Nothing against that. And I think that if that's something that you want, fine, be accepting to that. And I think that, you know, if you're at least, you know, with a guy who is in a trade and he's a carpenter or electrician or a plumber or something like that, you know, okay, he has this backing him up. He has this trade. He has, this is his profession. So you want to just kind of know, like, no matter what, he has something that is going to be able to make him money, right? And bring him income. So I think that's important. Now, nothing against the people who, work retail or flip burgers or any of those things, but I really don't think those type of men need women, right? Because women are expensive. Families are expensive. They don't need women. They need to level up their careers. They need to focus on their careers. But the men who have already done that, who've built themselves up and are a professional and have these skills and trades and, abilities to bring in income, yes, they deserve families. Yes, they deserve women. And I'm not saying down the road these other guys don't deserve that. I'm just saying right now on their path, their focus needs to be more on money, not women. So don't sacrifice yourself to a guy who really doesn't have a career, doesn't have a profession, doesn't have any skill that, he can actually make money off of independently. Don't waste your time with those kind of guys, because essentially that will be a waste of time and a lot of work, because you're going to have to work with that guy. You're just going to have to, because he's still building himself up. And I like to call those type of guys like knights, right? Because there's knights, there's Prince Charmings, there's the king, there's the emperor. So when you have like these knights, there's a bunch of them, right? There's so many. They're at an abundance, and they're all, what we see on the internet of, the average guy. And that's fine if you are that kind of person, but that's not my audience. That's not who you ladies are. I know you ladies want to meet a guy who's a protector, provider, who's actually going to love and support you and give you the life that, you know, you want and that you guys can create together. So that has nothing, I never speak to the women who want to entertain the knights or even the women who want to entertain the Prince Charmings. And to talk about career, I think it's really important to see like who he is in his field and at work, because men do use their ability to their accessibility to their resources as a way to impress women and to get women. So you want to make sure that, you know, he's killing, like essentially like he's killing it at his job. He's really doing the damn thing. Like something about my husband that I really found to be amazing about him and his journey with his career, because my husband is an attorney and he didn't go to law school. And I thought this was amazing. Like in school, he graduated top of his class in undergrad, and you know, he's always wanted to be an attorney. That was always his dream. He knew as a kid this is what he wanted to do. And instead of going to law school, he worked at a law firm and basically challenged the bar and studied and had mentors and, you know, challenged the bar. Actually just took the bar exam and he passed on the first try. And you know, he's a very intelligent man. This man is very brilliant, and I'm always astonished on what he knows and how his brain works. So he challenged the bar and he ended up, you know, working in firms and stuff like that, and he's built now his own law firm. And you know, it's amazing, you know, what he's been able to do. And I mean, ever since we got married, he's been making even more just crazy numbers, and I'm so proud of him. And I look to him and I'm just like, this guy is like so different than what I'm used to, because he's similar to me in a way where he doesn't take necessarily the traditional route, but he's able to take the route that he believes works for him and kill it. And at the end of the day, like he ended up, you know, still an attorney and with no law school debt. So I think that that was really, you know, smart of him. And you know, that's not everybody's journey, but him following his own heart and knowing like, I want to be an attorney and I want to do it my way and I want to go at it the way that I want to go at it. I think that's amazing. And yeah, so looking at the man's career and how he got there and his story behind that, and men will tell you their story behind that, right? They pride themselves on that journey, and it's important for you to really see that, because once I found that out about my husband, I was honestly intrigued, and I felt like, okay, I can trust this man. This man is a go-getter. He's going to get what he wants no matter what. He's not going to take the easy path. He's going to take the path that he believes in the most. Like that to me is like so sexy and so like, okay, yeah. And that was honestly something when I learned about him that I was just like, oh, okay. And that is what I'm saying, ladies. Like when you find out these things about these men who built these businesses or go at their careers in certain ways and they put in all this effort and they have these great accomplishments, that's the kind of guy that you want to be around, that you want to procreate with, that you know, really want in your life, because they're the ones who's going to take you to the next level because they've done it to themselves. So I think that is very important for you to look at their career and how much they value that and what they are willing to do to really get themselves to where they want to be, because that is going to be a good indication on what he's going to be like with you. Another thing that you want to make sure that he has this type of value is that he's a problem solver. He looks for solutions. He's not looking to everything as a doomsday. He looks at this problem and looks for a solution. That's where his mind goes. And I think that's very important. For me, I am a pretty solution-based kind of person. I'm not like a person who dwells on problems. I don't like problems, and I like to attack them head on. I don't like to let them fester and just be there. I have anxiety. I already spoke to you ladies about that, and it just will take me off. So finding someone who is similar to that, who's like, I'm a problem solver, I'm going to, deal with this head on. Again, my husband's an attorney, so he deals with problems all the time. So if I ever have a problem, I could just go to him and he deals with it in no matter small or big. And I think that's important, especially for a husband. You don't want a man who, is needs to go behind you and, hey, can you say something? Can you do something? You want a man who's actually going to, make the initial, problem solving and look for the solution, especially if you're the type of person that freaks out and just doesn't deal with problems well. You need that person who will deal with that problem. So I think that is an important thing to look at. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is his loyalty, right? You want to see if this person has loyalty, if he's a loyal person, if he has integrity, if he's honest. Now, this is important, right? Because if you're with a guy who is not loyal, right? Not to his friends, not to his past girlfriends, not to his family, he just done people wrong all through his life, or he's a thief, or he just not a kind of guy you can trust, then don't waste your time with him. I know some women who, will swear up and down that they want a man, right? They want to have a great relationship, they want to get married, but they will entertain like a scammer, right? A kind of guy who scams for his money. And I'm just like, if he's willing to scam innocent people out of their money, why do you think you should be trusting him at all with your love, with your heart, with your life? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. So I think it's really important for you ladies to know, like, this guy, no matter who he is, if he is not coming up as honest and loyal and just like a straight up and down type of person who's not going to BS you, who's not going to steal from you, he has integrity, then if he's not that in other parts of his life, don't think that he's gonna be like that with you, right? One of my friends, she was asking me, because I was telling her, you shouldn't ask a guy about his past relationship because it's kind of pointless, right? He's never gonna tell you the truth. He's never gonna tell you the truth. I have yet to meet a man, even my husband, and I will admit this, that will tell me that told me the truth the first time about their ex. And I'm not even the type of person who asks about the ex. They, it just comes up in conversation and they end up telling me something. And it's usually not the truth. Because why are they going to tell you the truth? They just don't. If you ask me about my past, I'm probably not going to tell you all the way the truth either. So there's no point of asking the person about, their past, because it's not going to be truthful. But you can see just by what they are showing you about the people that they're around, about how they talk about the people, how they, interact with those kind of people. That's going to tell you if he's a cheater, a dishonest person, not loyal, stuff like that, because that is really going to be in the forefront, because he's not going to have his guard up. He's not going to, think that you're looking or paying attention to that. But if you're talking about like, oh, like, how'd you and your ex break up, did you cheat on her, did you do this, of course he's not going to tell you the truth, right? Of course he's going to say, oh no, this happened. And if he is honest and says, okay, I did cheat on her or something like that, he's going to be saying like, oh, but I learned my lesson and I'm not going to do that again. It was like a hard time. I went to therapy. He's just going to say whatever he needs to say. So I was honest with you and I told you I did, but, I'm probably going to do it again. But he's not going to say that, right? But that's probably what it is. So I don't think that that's a good way to like get that information. I think a good way to get that information is just by seeing how he is in his life, how he acts in his profession, how he is with friends and family, how he talks about people, how he even talks about his ex. Is it in a positive or negative way? Those kind of things are things that you just observe. And I think it's important to observe those things, because you really do need to see if this guy can be trusted with your life. Because essentially, when you do get with a man, when you do marry them or are in a long-term relationship with them, you're giving them part of your life, you're giving them your heart, you're giving them your time. And those things, are priceless. You really have just your life for this time here. Now, we can talk about reincarnation and afterlives and all that stuff, but right now, in this physical being, on, whatever your name is right now, this person, all you have is the time right now. So you really do need to be picky and just conscious of the people you entertain and you let in your life, because you don't have a lot of time here. In the bigger scheme of things, 80 to 100 years is not that much time. So you need to choose wisely on the kind of person that you're going to spend your time with, and especially if you're going to procreate with, because you don't want to get a kind of guy who's dishonest and is a cheater and is just not a good person. You don't want to reproduce with them, right? You don't want to reproduce with a thief. You don't want to reproduce with a liar, a scammer. Those kind of people don't need children. They don't need another set of people like them. So I think it's important for you ladies to look at this list and really think to yourself, am I seeing this in the man? And mind you, like I said, this has nothing to do with looks. Because again, I mean, I think I lucked out. I think my husband is very attractive, and I'm attracted to him. But that was not the thing that I was looking to when I first saw him, right? I didn't say, like, he's so attractive and, I really want to be with him. I was just like, okay, we'll see, we'll go on this date, right? And as I got to know him more and found out more about who he was, his career, and everything like that, then I was like, oh, now I'm interested, right? And I could have just been interested in his looks, but like I said, I can't just value your looks, because you're not the woman of my life. You're the man of my life. So I need you to be that man. I need you to have these masculine traits inside of you. And that masculine part of me, which is not dominant for me, is now being fulfilled through you. And that is what, coming together in partnership and love and in marriage is about. It's having balance in your relationship where you hold the feminine space and he's holding that masculine space, and you're able to come together and create, a beautiful life. And I think that is very important. And I think that's something that should be in the forefront of your mind when you're dating for marriage, especially because you just need to protect yourself. And I think that's something I'm always going to let you ladies know. Like, you have to protect yourself. You have to look to men who are actually good, healthy, masculine men. You can't look to these guys who, are flashy and thieves and stealers and dishonest and have no integrity and just continue to go on life, screwing people over. Don't waste your time with those kind of guys. Don't waste your time with men who have no ambition, who have not put themselves in a position to win, who've not, really made themselves something. Because essentially that's what we're all here to do, is to become something, to expand who we are, to level up to different levels. Now, that can be done in many ways, but if you're with someone who's stagnant, there's no growth, and he's very negative, or doesn't, is angry at the world, or is a thief and takes from people because he feels like, he has a Robin Hood complex or whatever it may be, those kind of guys really shouldn't be with women, in my opinion. Like, those kind of guys still need to find themselves. They still need to grow, and they need to do that independently before they bring a woman or even a child into the mix. So I hope this helps you ladies on your journey. I absolutely love helping you, and that is why I offer my Goddess check-ins, which is a one-on-one check-in where I help you through the process of dating, especially if you're dating for marriage. And this is something that I accomplished myself. Like, before I even got engaged, I didn't want to come out here and give you ladies advice on dating, because I felt like, okay, when I get married, when I'm engaged or something like that, then I can, give you the advice, right? Because then I got to the goal and now I can tell you how to get there as well. So that's why I, waited so long to really open up a platform and do this. But even before this, I've been helping people in their relationships and helping women get what they want and even helping men get what they want out of relationships. And now I'm able to do it with even more confidence because I changed my own life and I see just the little things that I've been able to do that has transformed everything for me. And I really would love to help as many women as possible get that for themselves and just, get you to the next level, because that's what I feel like I did, especially like I told you ladies multiple times. When I turned 30, I shift identities. I was no longer that same woman who was in my 20s, right? I became an adult. I went from young adult to adult, and I wanted my adult life to look different than my young adult life. And I did that, and I was able to do that, and I'm still growing, right? I'm still evolving, I'm still changing, I'm still exploring who I am and allowing that to come out and shine through. I'm still in the beginning of my 30s, and I'm sure I'm going to be a different person in the middle and a different person at the end. But it's important that I honor these changes and that I allow myself to grow and expand and just level up continuously and not stay stagnant. And that's what I want for you ladies. So yes, reach out to me. I left my information down below. And of course, like the video for me. I would absolutely love that. I love that you ladies are subscribing to the channel, writing your comments, letting me know about your experience, reaching out to me for Goddess check-ins. I absolutely love it. It makes me smile, and I'm just so grateful that I can be a part of your journey and help you, reach your goals. That's just a dream to me. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.